The Honorable Favour Williams, Minister of Education, Youth and Information, the Honorable Robert Nestor Morgan, Minister of State in the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information, Dr. Casson Troop, Chief Education Officer, acting, Mr. Colin Stair, Director of Communications, members of the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information Executive Management Team who are joining us via Zoom, members of the media who are also joining us via Zoom, good afternoon. This afternoon, our minister will be providing an update as it relates to the preparation for back to school. Minister?
Thank you, PS. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, colleagues, members of the media. At yesterday's sitting of the Houses of Parliament, I outlined the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information's plans and programs for the official start of the new year next Monday, October 5. As you are aware, students will remain at home and receive the teaching and learning experience in a number of different ways. The first way would be online through the Google Learning Management System. We've been creating the email addresses for students and teachers, and we already note that there are almost 200,000 students logged in to become familiar with the learning management system. We will be broadcasting lessons on dedicated channels on TVJ and CVM, the cable network and radio stations. We will be publishing the schedule for each grade. We will also have printed material consisting of textbooks and worksheets, and these will be delivered to students, paying particular attention to students who are not online and may not have access to the lessons that are being broadcasted. It is important here for our teachers and students to be in touch with each other and for parents to take a keen interest in picking up the printed material and helping to get the work the child has completed to the teacher, for the teacher to mark and give feedback to the child. We're going to talk today about some additional educational resources that are being made available. Under the National Textbook Loan Scheme and the Primary Textbook Program, the Ministry of Education, Youth and Information is providing educational textbooks, worksheets, and electronic resources such as apps at a cost of approximately $626 million for the primary level and approximately $200 million for the secondary level for this school year. That's a total of $826 million, which will be spent on educational resources, hard copy, and electronic for the academic year. It must be noted that the ministry has provided the full complement of textbooks needed by the schools for this term. At the lower primary level, grades 1 to 3, the usual workbooks are being provided for integrated studies and mathematics. For the first time, the ministry will provide workbooks for the upper primary levels at grade 5 and 6 for the academic year, so parents do not have to buy these workbooks this year. This initiative, we believe, will assist in alleviating the financial challenges being faced by parents during this COVID-19 pandemic. At the secondary level, grade 7 to 11, a blended approach is being used. The students will have access to hard copy workbooks and textbooks. Additionally, we will be piloting e-books and other e-content for the various subject areas at a cost of approximately $200 million. 38,000 e-books are being procured for the new school year for the specified subject areas at the secondary level. So for the grade 9 students, there will be ebooks available in the separate signs. For grades 7 to 11, ebooks will be available in English language. For grades 10 and 11 students, ebooks will be available in Principles of Business. And again, for grades 10 and 11 students as well, there'll be ebooks in Principles of Accounts. It must be noted that most of the ebooks this year are flat books, meaning PDF, and thus are not interactive. The research shows, however, that full interactivity is most impactful at the primary level rather than at the secondary level. At the secondary level, only one approved title per subject is procured for each school. This means that students will receive access codes for either English for All or English Matters Book 1. The title of the books given to each school is based on the orders previously submitted by the school. In terms of psychosocial support, given the COVID-19 pandemic, we know that this will be an important area of support for our parents and students. So the ministry's guidance and counseling unit, in collaboration with the guidance counselors at the school level and clinical service providers, will provide counseling, psychosocial, and empowerment sessions for the children, staff, and parents. The Guidance and Counseling Unit has developed a psychosocial plan to guide interventions at the school level for the first term of the new school year. The unit will continue to support guidance counselors to develop and implement psychosocial plans at the school level and will monitor the progress for greater impact. All schools are expected to implement a psychosocial plan. Telecounseling will continue in collaboration with the Child Guidance Clinic, supported by UNICEF. Students who were referred to the Child Guidance Clinic will continue to benefit from ongoing counseling, though not in school. 35 psychosocial helplines for parents are available across all 7 regions through the efforts of the National Parenting Support Commission in collaboration with UNICEF, Victoria Mutual Foundation, and Fight for Peace. Youth empowerment sessions were implemented by the Youth Division with a focus on students' safety and psychosocial care, as well as their readiness for back to school. We will also be providing nutritional support through NPL. The government will continue to provide nutritional support to students on path through Nutritional Products Limited. Schools have been asked to submit information this week. This will allow Nutrition Products Limited to begin distributing products to the schools next week. We've also developed a communication strategy. This has been crafted to support the back-to-school preparation. Two national numbers have been created. 888 Educate. So that's 888-338-2283 or 888 SCH time. So that's 888-724-8463. A call center will be up and running by Friday of this week. So we can begin on Friday to call those numbers, parents, teachers, if you have questions, you need to find out where to go, what to do, please call those numbers. An email address for back to school queries has been created to be available as well on Friday. And that email address is educate@educate.gov.jm. So that's educate@educate.gov.jm. We also have a back to school website or landing page that has been created to go live on Friday of this week as well. And that can be accessed at educate.gov.jm. This page will direct parents, teachers, and students to the relevant documents and resources for online or distance learning, and the good news is that it will be zero rated, meaning you do not have to have a data plan in order to access that site. So again, it's educate.gov.jm. We will also be engaging town criers to get the message out to parents, especially those in rural areas and our inner city communities. Short videos are being created using the learning regarding using the learning management system and accessing other services. And we know that these short videos are effective because persons are able to WhatsApp them around to each other, and there will be many such short videos, and we hope that you publish them widely across your many groups, your many WhatsApp groups. In addition, our youth empowerment and parent sessions have commenced today and will be on until Sunday. These will also be recorded for viewing when convenient. So, ladies and gentlemen, the ministry has had extensive dialogue with our stakeholders. The support and interventions outlined are the result of the dialogue and consultations. Our hope is that, despite the obvious challenges brought on by COVID-19, that we will be able to have a good year of teaching and learning this term in the virtual environment. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that presentation, Minister.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, Minister. We are now going to be turning to the questions from the journalists who are on Zoom. And Ms. Cheryl Bromfield, over to you.
Good afternoon, Janella. Janella is from Television Jamaica. Go ahead with your question, please.
Aspect of the PEP exams. Now, these students are now in grade 6, where there's an expectation that they will do the ability test, the curriculum test, and another performance test next year. Now, given the current challenges, how does the ministry intend to treat with PEP this academic year?
I'm going to ask if you can repeat that question again, please.
Not a problem. I have a PEP question. Grade 5 students in the last academic year did not do the performance task aspect of the PEP exams. These students are now in grade 6, where there is an expectation that they will do the ability test, the curriculum test, and the performance test next year. Given the current challenges, how does the ministry intend to treat with PEP this academic year?
Okay, so thank you for that question. I'm going to ask our Chief Education Officer, Dr. Troop, to take that question. Dr. Troop?
Thank you, Minister. Good afternoon, everyone. Janella. So we have been looking at our National Assessment Plan. As you know, we have the PEP. We have also our other exit exams. So as a Ministry of Education, we have actually drafted already a National Assessment Plan to look at the possible scenarios that we will have to treat with given the moving goalposts. So of course, there's a draft plan, Janella, for us to review and to discuss with our psychometricians. These are not decisions that we make on our own. We have to look at what are the possible grades that are available for the children. We have to look at what is happening with the timeline now, what is possible. We are aware that we would have modified the curriculum for this semester already. That information will be shared with our schools very shortly. That also will impact the design of the exam going forward. If we are not able to sit the exam, there are scenarios that we have put on the table already in our draft plan, but those will be discussed first and foremost with our psychometricians, presented to our peers, and of course, our Minister for review for a final directive. So as soon as that is available, that will be shared with our school personnel, with our parents, and of course, you would have heard all the avenues that we have now available to communicate with our stakeholders. That will definitely be shared. We know that this is important and persons are awaiting such information, but we have to do the clinical work and to do the necessary scenarios so we can update the nation appropriately.
Ms. Althea Saunders from
Thank
the
you, Dr.
Jamaica
Chu.
Observer. I see your hand up. Go ahead with your question, please.
All right, good afternoon. I have a two-part question and then a second question. The first question is, have the textbooks been delivered to primary schools? Is there a shortage of textbooks? I have a report that some primary schools are being told that there are no books and that they will be informed whenever the books are available. Also, the printing of material for students, is this going to be done by the ministry or the individual schools? And if so, have the schools been provided with resources such as printers where there are none? So that's the first question and the follow-up. Second question is in regards to the procurement of tablets for grades 10 to 13 for the secondary schools. The principals are concerned that they are not able to negotiate the way that the ministry would have been able to negotiate that process, and that some providers are even giving them supply dates as far away as January because of the timeline. So they feel like this should have been done before to give them enough time to procure the tablets. Is the ministry planning to intervene in any way? The National Association is also saying that there appears to be some kind of shortage on the market for the specific type of devices that they've been asked to procure.
Okay, thank you for those three questions. I'll start with your last one in terms of the procurement of tablets and the allocation of funds that would have been given to high schools. What we have done, and we have sent this information to our high schools to say to them, please be in touch with e-learning. E-learning will help to coordinate the purchases. Already, e-learning would have negotiated wholesale prices for these devices. We are not leaving this up to the schools. We have minimum standards that are set for these devices, and we have e-learning that has the requisite experience and in-house to be able to guide the schools in order to get this done. And so e-learning is the central entity that will be helping schools with the procurement of these devices. And we'd love that message to get out. We've been repeating it, but it appears that not everyone has heard it yet. So schools, we're saying to schools, you're not on your own. Please get in touch with e-learning and to make the arrangements for the purchase. With regards to the printed material, I know that when schools were closed back in March and we had to go to a mode where we distributed printed material, the schools themselves were equipped with printers and so on to be able to do it. We found that that was not very efficient and it was not